Rahma. Rahma came with her family 5 years ago in June, and they were in a refugee camp for 4 years on the border of Iraq and Syria. They flew from Damascus into Toronto, and I was with one other person who went down to pick them up. Our churches were Steinman Mennonite and East Door Mennonite. We went together to sponsor a Palestinian family who had not had any status in terms of where they could live. And so they came to Canada and have embraced their possibilities here of living in Canada. Rahma has been a big inspiration to those of us that know her because she continues to work at raising money for Syrian refugees. So I'm sure you'll look forward to hearing what she has to say.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for coming here. First of all, I want to thank my mother and my father who are not present here because my dad works and my mom stays with my siblings, babysitting them. Because they were the ones who helped me start my path to give people speeches. And I would like to thank all my sponsors who have sponsored my family here. So as you can see the picture here, the weather conditions is really bad and the living conditions are really bad. Next slide. So I've seen a lot of terrible pictures of a child who's blue just from the cold weather and cold water that they live in from the rain. And so grief is parents' situation right now. So a lot of parents have lost children and a lot of children have lost parents. So when I ask myself, what if I was the person? What if I was the one who lost my parents or my mom lost me? That would feel terrible. Next slide. So when I come to speak to you today, I know that 6.5 million people have been displaced just from Syria. That's a massive number. So in the summertime, I remember my experience is very similar to theirs. So I would basically wake up covered in sand. I would see spiders all over me. And then one time I went out of the tent, there was a big snake, and the whole camp went to kill that snake because it was so big. And I remember that till this day. And this experience, a lot of people are experiencing right now. And it's really not their fault that they're living in a refugee camp. And I want to thank you that you are here to listen to me, because I know after this you'll feel bad, and it's not your fault, so don't feel bad. But it is really, like words don't describe my feelings. But pictures, as you can see here, like these children, they can go to school and learn and become whatever they want to be. They can be the future of this world. But the future of this world is incomplete because these children don't go to school and because these children live in refugee camps. Next slide. Look at that. This is just a refugee camp. Like, I remember that how big our refugee camp was. And then a lot of people came here. Some people went to Chile. I know my uncle's in Chile. Some people went to Australia, Germany, and other countries. But this really shocks me. So as you can see, snow is very similar to here. So like negative 40 degrees. Some children go out with sandals and t-shirts. What if that was your child or your sibling or someone that you love? When I saw this kid, I imagined my brother. Like, that would really, I don't know what to do in that situation. Like sandals in the winter time. And I know MCC have sent school kits, and I know other organizations have sent clothes. But I feel like we're not helping enough people as we should. Like, that's what I feel. Next. So I know you've heard about and you've seen on the news that people die coming from ocean to ocean just for safety. So here, I know a story I saw on TED Talks of two couples who came, who wanted to come to, I think, Australia. So each family, like there were 5 families who died, like the mother and the siblings died. So, and the girl's fiance also died because of, they sank. And so that girl, at the end of the trip, when she arrived to Australia, she was left with 3 babies. And she was responsible for them. And I thank her for taking care of these children because they had no parents. So this girl is very brave because she took the responsibility to take care of 3 kids. It's not her fault, and it's not her responsibility. But she did what you guys are doing now. Listening, you guys are listening now. Donating money, donating supplies, but she actually took action and sponsored these kids. As you might be part of sponsoring a family here. So in Lebanon, according to Google statistics, 1.4, as you can see on the screen, I'm not going to read the numbers, but as you can see, a lot of refugees go to these countries. And these countries do open the doors, but living in tents. Tents in the wintertime, tents in the summertime, it doesn't matter. And the problem is, like, the politicians of these countries, the politicians who are leading these people, say, well, we gave you refugee camps and you should live. You should live this life. Now, I really strongly believe in education because it's the education we can do anything. So this quote reads from Nelson Mandela, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Right? Next, I have a video to show you. That video made me cry because I want to be a heart surgeon when I grow up. So education really is important to me. So when I see this girl writing her name is Anya, and then in the video, she writes her name over and over again so that she doesn't have to, she doesn't forget her name. I remember my mother, when she used to teach me how to stand, she used to teach me how to write ABCs, my name, and write a couple of sentences in Arabic. And until this day, I remember like when I used to write on sand. And I came to Canada knowing my ABCs, and I'm thankful. But if I didn't come here, I would have just known the ABCs, my name, and the Arabic letters. That's all I would have known.
Aya practices writing her name over and over again. She is 8 years old and loves to learn.
Aya, 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 Aya.
She is also a Syrian refugee.
أنا أحب سوريا، أشتاق سوريا، وأحب رفقاتي، ونلعب أنا وأختي، وجمع العجيات نلعب أنا وياهن، ونلعب بالبسكليتات، ونلعب بالهاكي بالألعاب.
There are now 1 million Syrian refugee children spread across the region. Aya is one of them. She has seen war firsthand, experienced flight.
صار يضربوا على الدار، من ضربوا الدار مشينا، ما ضلينا، صرنا نبكي ونحن ندحج على الدار، صرنا نبكي. بعد صرنا نبكي لمن اجينا لهون.
Home for her and her 6 brothers and sisters is this makeshift tent in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley. Her father's pride and joy was that he had been able to educate his children, boys and girls alike. Aya has not been to school for 2 years now and has little prospect of going soon.
ما تم عندي غير هاي، ما تعلمت، وصغيرة ذيك الدرويشة، ولا التالي ما بقى كل تعلمت. وهلا من الأمور يعني وترجع رجوع يراجعون كتبهم كليات.
Aya keeps busy helping around the house and looking after her disabled sister.
عندي صيد دكتورة مشان للأطفال. الأطفال إذا أجوا علي ما بيعطوني مصاري ولا شيء، بكتب لهم ورقة، بعطيهم دواء، بغزن إبرة، بتروح.
A whole generation of Syrian children like Aya have been affected by this conflict. Their lives and futures on hold as the violence continues, unabated. Some children have to go to work, others are marrying young. but all of them will never forget what they have lived through. Aya can't look into the future. She doesn't know if she can go back to Syria. She finds a way to smile, clinging to those that are most dear to her, and dreams of an end to the war.
Yeah, as you have seen in this video, I was like that girl, but thanks to our sponsors who brought us here. Like, it's really hard because I'm really talkative, but sometimes words aren't enough. Like, words aren't enough. Like, some people look at a cup as half full, and some people look at the cup as half empty. So, and that proves that people have different ways of seeing life. And if you see life as, if you see a bad situation that will never end and that will never have a solution, then you're likely not to be able to help, or be enthusiastic, or be hopeful, or be joyful. But I'm really sure that you are not one of these people who see the cup half full instead of half empty. And that's why you're here to listen and help. Yeah, thank you.